Member of Parliament for Esikado Ketan, who was Minister for Railways during the time that this deal came to the fore. The Honorable Ghartey. He is also an NPP presidential aspirant or flag bearer, hopeful. He's actually joining us on the line. Honorable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much.
$2 million paid to a company in Mauritius, which company has not done anything and has no expertise whatsoever in the work that it claims it was coming to do. You were the supervising minister at the time. What happened?
Well, supervising what? That's the first question you asked. And when you listen, I just listened to the Honorable Minority Chief with statement. And then when he went on and on and on and on, he ended by saying that the Auditor General said that they should collect the money from the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. Because it was the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund that paid the money. Now, the Ghana Investment Infrastructure Fund was established to mobilize and tend to transactions and so infrastructure projects. If you look at Section 4 of the Act, it has a very interesting provision. It says, except as otherwise provided in this Act, the fund shall be independent in the performance of its functions. So the person and the Auditor General recognized that, asked for the Ghana Investment Infrastructure Fund to refund the money or to go. They mentioned that specifically. So this your man going and talking about Vice President Economic Management Team and coming to talk about me because he's campaigning. I mean, it's pure politics. The Vice Economic Management Team had nothing to do with it. Yes, I was a minister, but I didn't have any money to invest in anything. In any event, a ministry or a ministry, that a ministry as a ministry, cannot invest in such a project. Even if we want to invest, even if we have money under our budget to invest in such a project, it be a PPP, we have to go through a government agency, GRDA, or even establish another one to do that. So for you to say that they should ask Vice President, they should ask me, you yourself know that the Auditor General's report, I think 2019, stated that the money was paid by the Ghana Investment Infrastructure Fund. So if there's anybody to ask why they pay the money, whether they agree with the Auditor General, those are the people that you must ask. And this SkyTrain project, they go on and publish false pictures and upside down trains and so. Listen, there's a train passing over Akosombo just now. You can call it a water train because it's passing over water. The only reason why it was called a SkyTrain because it's an elevated train. I went to South Africa in 2017 and made a presentation to investors, a whole master plan, not just what do you call a train in Accra, an entire master plan, including train services for Accra. 5 million people stay in Accra, Greater Accra. 5 million people stay in Kumasi. People leave work and they get home at 8, 9 in the night. And they are supposed to come back the next morning. The quality of life, when you are driving home, when I was a minister, if I were meeting at 8, just East Legon, I just stay at East Legon, at the back of East Legon, near Passion. I have to leave home at 5 because under bridge will be choked. So in every developed country, there's a metro service. So we wanted a metro service. So I went to South Africa and made a pitch. We were approached by this company. This is a group of investors who said that they would come and look at it and see what they can do. When they came, they said that there are 3 options. Either have it on the road, have it underground, or have it elevated. When you go just now, if you are going to near African regions, you see a train passing over a bridge. It's just an elevated train. It's not any wonderful thing. And it was never going to hang. It was on top of the bridge. And so when they said that, we said, fine. I came back, briefed everybody. 2018, they signed a memorandum of agreement. That's what they called it, which said that they will go and do some processes, blah, 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 blah. They came back to me and said that they wanted a concession agreement for 19 years. And I said, it's not possible. Sorry, for 30 years. I said, it's not possible. What you have is giving me some initial indication of routine. So you need a full feasibility before I can agree on term. In any event, for us to have a full agreement with you, even if I sign the agreement with you, it means nothing unless it goes through these processes. The Supreme Court has said countless times, that the 1815 of the Constitution, that you sign these agreements is subject to parliamentary approval. This is not rocket science. The Public Financial Management Act has said that when you sign these agreements, it's subject to agreement by the Ministry of Finance and negotiators on PPPs. They will come originally and say that they will build and so on, but they will have in it a clause that says that if they don't get a certain amount of money from the certain return on investment, government to pay that gap. I don't have the authority, or I didn't have the authority as Minister of Finance, Minister of Railway to agree to pay any gap. And the same thing happened in Accra Kumasi. Accra Kumasi, there was a financial viability gap. They wanted me to guarantee that if they don't get their money, then I can't guarantee that. Only finance can guarantee. Anyway, coming back to the SkyTrain. So I said all these various conditions must be met. They went away 2019. They were supposed to come 2020, and there was COVID. And so as far as my ministry was concerned, we did not give them any money. I didn't have the power to authorize any money. I couldn't approve any money. This is a statutory corporation which has its own powers, it has its own board, it does its own analysis and arrives at its own conclusion. So, luckily for us, this is still there, so you can ask them.
Okay, I get you now. But GIF will not go out of his way to dole out cash without someone prompting them to. Did you not at any point write a letter to GIF saying that approve so much or release so much funds to this company?
I don't. First of all, I don't have power to write that letter to GIF. I mean, it's like you asking me whether I didn't write a letter to Ghana Commercial Bank to give a loan to Umar Usanda or Citi.
So who asked GIF to pay money to the Mauritius company or the company Mauritius?
GIF itself.
Based on what? Because it was for the SkyTrain, and that SkyTrain came from your ministry.
Based on their own assessment of a project that was being undertaken. They decided to make
without prior consultation or request to them by your ministry. They just get out of their own and decide to pay for a project that they have not even been invited to. Is that how they operate?
They were approached by the investor.
Which minister? Finance or railways?
The investor.
The investor. Okay.
Yes. The investors come to town and they look for. The investors are looking for. What should I call it? They are looking for people to join them at all levels. They come and talk to banks in Ghana. They talk to government agencies. They talk to this. They talk to that. They talk to ministries. And then they sniff around and they see who can work with them. Because basically, no investor, single investor, I think, unless Elon Musk will put in over $2 billion into such a project. They want as many people as possible. And in fact, if you have a Ghanaian entity supporting you, I'm talking now as a corporate and investment lawyer, it's attractive abroad because they think about expropriation and nationalization as well. So the government is part of it.
Honorable, forgive me, I have not been in public service, but I do not think that GIF would pay $2 million to a company without checking with the Ministry of Railways. Is that what happened, that they did not even check with you and you did not say to them that it's okay, go ahead?
GIF will check with us whether there's anything involving us and this company.
Do you recall if they did?
I think so, they did. We confirmed it. Because GIF was in South Africa with us the second time. We confirmed it. That
so you took them there then. So you possibly urged them to make the payment.
No. Far from that. I can't see them. They have their own board. I don't do risk analysis. They have their own credit risk analysis. I can't urge them. No. You see, listen, my interest as a minister was to see, or the ministry was to see to the development of this project. And to see to the development of this project by way of PPP. Together, we have to bring in other ministries. I was not on the investor side or against the investor. I was an innocent third party. That is how we operate. If you want to
but you cannot be innocent because you gave the master plan. You were sold the idea of a land, an underground, and a SkyTrain, and you went for the SkyTrain. You would have come to cabinet to report, saying that this is what I have gone to find. Your job was to get money or funding for the project.
No. My job was not to. My job clearly, we would not. I wouldn't even have taken it forward if my job was to get funding for the project, because I've been told that the entire budget that was be given to me for railway was $2 billion, and I was applying to Western Line, I was applying to Kanampakadan, and I was going to apply some also to the Accra Kumasi line. So there was no way that I was going to. Where was I going to get the money from? And so I made it clear to the investors right from the beginning that the ministry did not have money for this purpose. But there was an opportunity. If you come and look for it, I was selling my ministry like our Ghana Investment Promotion Center sells Ghana, like our Free Zone Board sells Ghana, like how the Ghana Petroleum Hub sells Ghana. That is my responsibility, to market the country. This is an opportunity. If you're interested, come and look at it. These are the terms. If it's a build, operate, and transfer, do a full feasibility, then we can agree with you whether we'll give you 30 years or more or less. Because if you've given me, you've done a lot of work, but I want to know the full figure, show it to other ministries who are involved, like the ministry which is responsible for all the road network. We are passing across the road.
The sense I'm getting is that you were the one who would do the contract, but you were not the one who would fund the project. So you thought that it was a brilliant idea, you liked it. It was that notion or that belief of yours that spurred the GIF to go ahead and issue the check for $2 billion. And I'm surprised that you do not want to agree to that. Explain to me, as if I were a 10-year-old, why a supervising minister for railway who said to us, you're going to give us a sky train, should not be held responsible or liable for a 2 billion cedi that has left from the taxpayers' coffers to a company in Mauritius, which company we are even told that did not have the expertise to do what it did at the time. How clean are your hands in this project?
Okay. The Ghana Investment Infrastructure Fund is like a bank. But the only difference between them and a bank is that they are venture capitalists. They invest in your project. They don't give you a loan. So they don't take a loan. They give you the money and take shares. That's their. So let's take Ghana Commercial Bank, for example, which is under the Ministry of Finance. If Ghana Commercial Bank gives Citi, if Ghana Commercial Bank gives Citi FM a loan, would we hold the finance minister responsible?
Yes, if the project, the one who you should hold responsible is the one who birthed the idea and encourage other members of the government to support it.
The one who you hold responsible, whether there's any responsibility is another issue. But you must ask yourself whether the Ministry of Finance can give instruction to Ghana Commercial Bank that give this person money, and they also give them money. That's the question you must ask yourself. And you must understand governance. Governance, the Ministry of Railway Development is not in charge of GIF. So we can confirm to GIF right now, yes, we have a project with these people. GIF will not refer back to us for the credit analysis. They can ask us for the documents, the public documents. This is the agreement we signed with them already. This is where we've reached. From then on, GIF will do their own assessment and decide whether they want to partner them or not. That is not a decision.
Without even consulting you?
Because GIF is independent. The Act says that.
But they're independent, but it is not their personal project. It's a project of a ministry. Why don't they check with the ministry before giving clearance for money to go out?
It is not a project of a ministry. It's a project of Ghana.
Carried or executed by the ministry?
No. The ministry plays its role. GIF plays its role. Everybody plays its role. The role of the ministry is to promote this project. The role of GIF is to invest in infrastructure projects. So they will ask us that, can you imagine if GIF was going around getting approval from ministers? No. They will ask us that, do you have a project with these people? Yes, we have a project with these people. What is the documentation? Oh, this is the documentation. Then they will do their own analysis and decide whether they want to invest in it or not.
So this money, this $2 billion that has been paid.
It's $2 million. It's $2 million.
I beg, apologies. $2 million that has been paid. Do you know what has become of that money before you left the office?
Because I'm not responsible for it.
So as of the time you were leaving the office, if you were preparing a handing over note, which I'm sure you would have done to John Amewu, did you mention that money?
I can't mention it because it's not for, I don't remember, but it's not for my ministry. It's not my ministry, is not responsible. When you are handing over to a minister, you hand over what you are responsible for. My ministry is not responsible for it. The Ministry of Rural Development did not pay that money.
So if we want to know the whereabouts of that money, we should go to GIF.
It's taking me 3 hours to tell you what I told you in the beginning.
It's not 3 hours. It's just 30 minutes. But yes, I just wanted to be sure.
I like worrying you.
It's fine. It's okay. So Honorable, so I just want to get it on record because you see, your colleague quoted you as saying in January that no public funds were expended on the project. So in fact, I think I must have been my interview.
In January, what I said was that my understanding and what I knew from the beginning, I still know, was that government did not have $2 billion to spend. And when I talk about government, I talk about the Ministry of Railway Development. We didn't have it in our budget. We never had it in our budget, and it was never part of our budget. In any event, no ministry recommendations to the Ministry of Finance that this is what you want to spend this year. Then the Ministry of Finance will agree to some, you will agree to some. What you agree to, you put it in the budget. Now they have something what they call the gift mix. The gift mix, so you go through, let's say I said I'll spend $10 million on Temempakada. So when it comes for time for that $10 million to be paid, the contractors will show that this now worth up to $10 million. The internal auditor will look at it. It will go to Controller Accountant General. Gift mix will look at it. And no minister is a signatory, or no minister gives an order for the amount to be paid. The ministers are not. It is the public servants who are. So that is the process that you go through. After it has been paid, then what will happen is that Auditor General will then audit it and come out with this finding. So when audited, but Ghana Investment Infrastructure Fund must invest in various infrastructure projects, and I don't know the entire infrastructure portfolio.
All right.
So the point is that they're coming. Why the Auditor General located where the money was coming from and said they should refund the money. Unless you are telling me that the Auditor General doesn't know this work.
All right. So for you, Auditor General blames GIF. So let's leave it there.
Not that he blames. He located.
Okay, that's fine.
Pick it from there.
By the way, someone has sent me a message. There's mischief in the person's head, and I like that mischief, so I'll associate with it. It says to ask you if you would have taken credit for the project if it had come to fruition, because you are now, the person feels. Let me just read it straight so that it doesn't sound like it's coming from me. It says, ask him who would have taken the glory if the project was done.
If the project was done, of course, GIF will be part. GIF were part of the people who all everything will come out. Yeah, that's why. GIF will be part of it. It's not easy for you to understand this in terms of glory and so on. It's a little worrying because it's not about glory. It's about doing a project. It's like everybody doing his work. And their management believe that. I mean, you can ask them. I'm sure they believe that they had the project. They wanted to invest in it. And I believed in the project. And I still believe in the project, only that I don't know what I'll do when I become president.
But Sikanashi, if you became president, what would you do to that money which you have lost? $2 million.
First of all, I don't know whether we've lost the money because I don't work for GIF or not the general. Secondly, if I become president, not only that money, any money that is lost, I'll chase it.
How is your campaign coming?
Good. I was too focused on this.
Sorry, Honorable, I lost you. I lost you briefly. I didn't hear you. Say that again.
I said I've been waiting for you to ask me that question. You are too focused on me. Unfortunately,
I have a funny feeling that your campaign will be launched on a sky train, whether you like it or not. And I've said this to you, insisted it a number of times, that it is actually going to, if it was positive, it would be credit for you. But now it may be an albatross around your neck. Honorable, sorry, the network in Esikado is not that good. I have a difficulty hearing you.
I said I'll put it around your neck rather. If there's the only thing around my neck, then it's a golden necklace. Let me finish. Because I've been in public for so long, and as far as I'm concerned, I've acquitted myself creditably. I'm ready to meet anybody, anywhere, any day, on any debate, court or outside. The $2 million or any other money was not paid back. And if it got worked, fine. We will all take the care. Who says it won't work now? I'm not in government. I cannot speak for government.
That's fine. So generally, how has your campaign been? Meeting delegates must be a very hectic work.
Well, it's tiring but interesting. I mean, I found myself 2 days ago in Hoi, in two small towns in west. It's Ho Central constituency, and we're having meetings in people's halls, and first in classroom, and then people saw meeting 50 people, 100 people, and it gives you the opportunity to talk to people. And I also remember as I was driving through Water Region, I just said to myself, what a beautiful place. And the way that it's interesting. I mean, you look at the people, you look at, we went to Dambai. I've gone there one, but I looked at just what changes can be made to where the ferry is and so on. Ghanaians are lovely people. So I speak to them, they speak back to me. Some agree with me, some don't. There's no quarrel. I just spoke to somebody who we met the water executive. I said, the way I'm talking to me, I think it's 50-50. They said, no, it's 70-30, which is good because he said 70 for me, 30 against. I said, fine. Because you see, the good thing about me is that I don't have any power to offer them anything just now. So if you say you vote for me, it's not because I'm forcing you to vote for me. So it's good. I like it.
The polls are not looking good for you.
Well, this guy, I don't agree to everything Donald Trump does or says, but there's one thing I agree to. He says the only poll that is important is the poll on the voting day. And let's see what will happen in November.
Wish you all the best and thank you for speaking to us, sir.
I don't know whether I wish you the best, but I wish you the best.
Oh, I do wish you all the best. You are mine. All the best, sir. Thank you so much for speaking to us.